welcome back to my channel. So today's going to be a kind of different video. I have been trying to decide for a while whether or not I wanted to make these videos and whether or not I wanted to post them on this channel that I've already established or if I wanted to make a new one. So I had decided to go ahead and put this video on my already established channel, Life with Kaylin, and I hope that those of you who watch my videos just for the financial stuff won't be upset or feel, you don't have to watch this video if you don't want to. This is really for my personal journey to look back on and to share my journey with others. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my infertility journey and where I'm at and what our plans are going forward. So I have had 2 pregnancies, and my first pregnancy ended with a stillbirth, and my daughter, her name is Molly Grace, and that was in 2011. Then my second pregnancy is my son Kane, and he was born in July of 2015. And then, as most of you have heard in my other videos that I've talked about, I do have a daughter, and she was adopted. Just for purposes of infertility, though, I'll be talking mostly about my first and second pregnancies as kind of comparisons. So, not to leave her out, but just since adopting her was a completely different situation than my pregnancies. That's why I will be mentioning them more than my situation with her. So, my first pregnancy, I did not have any trouble getting pregnant. I found out early on in my pregnancy with her that she was having complications and that I would most likely end up having a natural miscarriage. They did think I was going to lose her a lot sooner than I ended up losing her, but yeah, so she had a lot of chromosomal abnormalities, which was caused from Turner syndrome. And eventually her heart did give out, and I did deliver her. I had a vaginal delivery. It was an induced delivery, and I had 16 hours of labor and did give birth to her on July 16th, 2011. So that was there was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing that I could have done because I did try a lot to be able to save her. In 2013, we decided to start trying again for another baby. After about 3 months of trying, I went in for just a kind of well woman exam to get my PAP done and to kind of talk about trying for a baby. And everything was normal at that time. I didn't have any problems. They told me it was completely natural for it to be taking more than 3 months, and that to wait until it had been a year before we needed to talk about any type of infertility. So we did that. We kept trying, and that was in October that we had that appointment. So come February, I decided to go ahead and make the appointment for genetic counseling with the high-risk doctor that was in town. And so we went there, we had the appointment, and we discussed the chance of reoccurrence of Turner syndrome with any other type of chromosome abnormalities. And he told us that there was no increased risk of reoccurrence for Turner's, that it basically starts over again with each pregnancy for the chance that it could happen. So it's very low chance anyways, and having had one daughter with it did not mean that we were going to have another child with it. So that was really just up to chance. We did talk about it that time, since we had been trying for about, I think, 8 months at that point. Of course, we were getting a little frustrated about when this was going to be happening, since it didn't take long last time for me to get pregnant. And since it happened just by accident, what was wrong this time? What was going on? So we talked about it. We talked about it with the doctor. He said that he would kind of, after 9 months of trying, say that we might need to start thinking about Clomid, to go ahead and schedule that appointment to go back into our OB and go from there, maybe get some more labs done, more blood work done. We waited, and after it had been a year, we did decide that we were going to go back in to our OB, made the appointment. Of course, our appointment was pushed out a couple months past a year. They did want to do some more blood work and labs and stuff like that. There was possibly a chance that I could have PCOS. So we did the lab work, checked my thyroid. Basically, she thought that I did have PCOS and that I had hypothyroidism. So I was prescribed Synthroid, and since I had PCOS, they went ahead and gave me the green light to start Clomid. So started my Synthroid, started my Clomid the next cycle. Went in for my follicle scan, cycle day 12, the regular business with all that, taking Clomid or anything like that. And my follicles did grow. I had one that, got to be mature. I did the trigger shot at home, and I ended up getting pregnant that first cycle. So I had a very high risk pregnancy with him, but luckily everything ended great, and I have a very healthy, 17, almost 18-month baby boy, and he'll be 18 months in just a couple days, but I am stretching out that 17 months as long as I can because I just don't want him to grow up. I mean, I do, but he's just growing up so fast. So, everything worked really good that time. He's been such a blessing to our family. My daughter gets along with him so good. She is such a big sister, great big sister, and she's just thrilled to have him. She's very sweet. She after Molly died, she always talked about her and what she was like up in heaven right now, and she wanted another baby sibling so bad, so she is very excited to be able to have him. Of course, she wants more, but she's excited with what she has so far. So basically, after having him when he was about 5 months old, I had to have back surgery, and I did have to go off of my birth control pill for that surgery. Kind of normal for some major surgeries. So I went ahead and went off of it, and we talked about what we wanted to do, and we decided that I would just stay off of it because we knew that it was hard for me to get pregnant last time, and that originally we were planning to go in when he was a year old to talk about what we should do this time with trying. So I went off my birth control in December of 2015 and haven't gotten pregnant. And so in September, we decided to go into my OBGYN and just kind of touch base with them. It had been 9 months. I did get a new OB this time. There were some issues with my last one and how things went during my pregnancy that I didn't agree with, so we wanted to get a new OB. So I went there, got established with them, did my well woman exam, and did talk about how, we tried Clomid last time, and obviously I'm not getting pregnant again. It had been 9 months, or can we go ahead and start something, get the ball rolling on this? So did a bunch of lab work. She didn't think I had PCOS, and didn't think I had PCOS. My thyroid was good with the medicine I've been taking, so that's good. But I had low AMH, which for those of you dealing with infertility know that means I have a low ovarian reserve. So she did not want to use Clomid again, since that triggers a lot of follicles to kind of rise up and can thin my uterine lining. So instead of that, she wanted to use Femara. And since Femara usually only helps grow one follicle, she thought that was better since I did have such a low ovarian reserve. She also said that if this didn't work with the typical 5 to 6 cycles, instead of her continuing to try anything, she would refer me out to an RE. So, of course, a little worried about that, but still had hope. So last month I did start my Femara, and took it cycle day 3 through 7, did the trigger shot because I did not have a positive OPK at home, but my follicle had grown to 21 millimeters as of cycle day 12, but my uterine lining was a little bit thinner than what they were wanting. It was at a 5.6 and they wanted at least a 6, but they did want to go ahead and try the trigger. So we did that, and unfortunately that did not work and I did not get pregnant. However, we're on cycle 2 now, or round 2 of the Femara. I took it again cycle day 3 through 7, and I'm taking 5 milligrams per day. And I did that with this cycle and last cycle. And so I went in for my follicle scan on cycle day 12, which was 2 days ago. And I had one follicle that was 14.6 millimeters and one that was 12 millimeters. So they wanted to see me back today for 2 days later to see if either one of them continued to grow and if we could go ahead and schedule the trigger shot for, you know, good timing around that. They wanted it above 20 millimeters, but you know, they're not going to be open on Monday with it being the new year, so I might have had to have taken a trigger shot home is kind of where we were going with that. So I went in today, and my one follicle that was bigger has grown to 20 millimeters, so that was good. My other one didn't grow. It hasn't gone away, but it just hasn't grown, so it's still 12. But that was my right side, and they didn't see anything on my left side last time. They had a lot of trouble even finding my ovary on the ultrasound, my left ovary last time. But today I had another 2 follicles on my left side. I have one that is 21 millimeters and one that is 16 millimeters. So 16 is a little bit smaller than what they would have hoped for, but since I already have 2 mature follicles, they are very happy with that. They said there is a very real possibility of having twins this cycle and a very much slimmer chance of triplets just because I do have that 16 millimeter one. Could get pregnant off of that. I could, you know, a sperm could fertilize that egg, but it's more likely that they would fertilize the bigger eggs. So very excited about that. I wanted to go ahead and do this video as a kind of baseline of our infertility journey, and then I wanted to update you guys in about 2 weeks when I do my pregnancy test. And you know, I had made a video last month, and I really thought it was going to work the first time, and it didn't, and I just couldn't bring myself to post it. And I really think that seeing other people's journeys, even though I really wanted to be pregnant that first round, and it was hard seeing other people where it didn't work the first round because it gave me less hope that it was going to work for me. Now I don't enjoy, but I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one going through this, the only one with hopes that it's going to work the first cycle or the second cycle or the third cycle. And I'm really hoping that it does work at least one cycle, but I really felt like I should share this journey, and I know that seeing other people's journeys have really helped me, and I wanted to be able to share that for somebody else. So I will be updating you guys to let you know how it goes, and oh, I forgot to add, I got a positive OPK at home this morning, so I didn't have to do my trigger shot today. All I have to do is do it the old-fashioned way today and tomorrow. So that was also the first time I'd ever gotten a positive OPK at home, and really excited about that. So I didn't have to do the trigger shot, so that was good news too. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions about mine. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.